Jr. And Roy, 6 months ago, Michael Grant had this heavyweight heir apparent status pretty much all to himself. But since that time, David Tua has reemerged with a spectacular knockout of Hasim Rahman. Ike Ibeabuchi has again come out of nowhere to knock out Chris Bird. And a lot of people are talking about them at least as much as they're talking about Grant. So does Michael come into this fight now under pressure to improve his business prospects, not just by beating Saverese, but by looking spectacular as well?
Yes, he has to come out here and show that he is the next man in line for a heavyweight title shot. If he doesn't, then people are going to want to see the other guys. There are not many exciting fights in the heavyweight division anyway, so people want to see excitement. They want to see somebody that they can look forward to for a very exciting night when it comes to a heavyweight championship fight. So it's important that Michael Grant do just that tonight.
And it's, of course, excitement that both Tua and Ibeabuchi furnished within the past 6 months. So now we see what Grant can do against the veteran Saverese. And Larry, Grant's detractors point out one particular statistic, which is that CompuBox numbers show he gets hit at an inordinately high rate. Some would say big target, big strike zone. Can Lou Saverese knock a hole in that target tonight?
Might, but let's keep in mind that Lou Saverese is a big guy with a big target himself. Look, it's natural to put under the microscope a fighter who is being touted as a potential future champion, to check him out, to see what flaws he might have, and so on and so forth. That's just a part of the deal when you're getting into the spotlight. Are you worthy of that spotlight? So far, all we've seen under that microscope really are harmless bacteria, because although Grant has been hit, he hasn't really been hurt, and he's always fought back very well. Lou Saverese calculates that the opportunity to hit Grant is well worth the risk because of what the reward would be if he gets there firstest with the mostest. But Grant must think the opportunity is there for him, too, because he gave up $100,000 of his guarantee for this fight to lure Saverese into the fight. $100,000 subtracted from what he gets, added on to what Saverese was going to get for this fight. They both think they got a shot. That's why it's a fight.
All right, let's take a look at the tail of the tape for these two postmodern heavyweights, both of them big, chiseled athletes. Saverese at 240 gives away 16 pounds and 2 inches to the giant Grant, who was a high school and junior college baseball, basketball, and football star. Grant also with a 6-inch reach advantage over Saverese. Rules of the bout with our unofficial ringside scorer, Harold Letterman.
The Michael Grant Lou Saverese fight once again is scheduled for 10 rounds using rules of the New York State Athletic Commission non-title. The standing 8 count is in effect. The 3 knockdown rule is in effect. The referee or the doctor can stop the fight, and you cannot be saved by the bell in any round, including the 10th and final round. Jim.
Thank you, Harold. Home court advantage tonight for Lou Saverese. Raised in the Catskills, lives in Lower Manhattan. Startlingly busy in one of his big HBO performances against Foreman. Lost a decision in that fight. Later lost a knockout to David Izon. But a good lesson to all young heavyweights. Saverese makes the biggest paycheck of his career tonight because he kept being willing to take tough fights.
You don't have to be a heavyweight to take that advice. Every fighter should listen to it. He's a 2-time former Golden champion here. He's a baseball player as a high school athlete, and he's getting married in July.
Saverese had a tryout with the Mets. Michael Grant has a tryout, or had a tryout, with the Kansas City Royals. So the question is, are these the 2 best baseball players ever to meet in the heavyweight division?
Well, they're both as big as Mike McGuire.
And here comes Mark McGuire boxing. Michael Grant, 6'7", 256 pounds. Knockouts in each of his last 5 fights. None of them spectacular one-punch destructions of his opponents. He tends to wear them down with his size and his technique.
He's more of a dominator than a terminator. But at the end of the fight, they raise his hand.
They always have. his good buddy Evander Holyfield, Grant leans toward the spiritual for his entry music and appears to be in a Holyfield-like rapture as he celebrates his entry into the ring. Closer look, Larry.
Multi-talented, plays the piano. There might be a little bit of a problem with his protective cup, which rides very high on his narrow waist, and some protests have been made about it. He was married last summer, and Evander Holyfield was an usher at his wedding. Here's a picture of that wedding. And it could be a problem down the road because Evander says he's so close to Grant, feels so good about him, that he doesn't want to fight him. And if Evander should recapture his title, that will mean that this man will have to wait even longer to get a shot at it.
Of course, he also shares a trainer, Don Turner, with Holyfield, and Turner is on record as saying if they ever met, he would train Grant, not Holyfield. Let's go to Michael Buffer for the official introductions.
Ladies and gentlemen, main events in association with your undisputed, undefeated king of beers, Budweiser. This Bud's for you. Present the main event of the evening, 10 rounds of boxing in the heavyweight division. Sanctioned by the New York State Athletic Commission Chairman Mel Southard, Commissioners at ringside Rose Trentman and Mark Kernstein. Special Assistant Chairman Jim Posanello, Executive Director Tony Russo, Director of Boxing Bob Duffy, Chief Physician at ringside Dr. Billy Lathan. Attending physicians are Dr. Michael Fiorello, Dr. Richard Istrico, and Dr. Robin Scarlata. Deputy Commissioners Steve Acunto and Mike Pascali. Timekeeper at the bell Jim Borzell. The 3 judges scoring this bout on a 10-point must system will be Joe Dwyer, Melvina Lathan, and Steve Weisfeld. And when the bell rings, your referee in charge of the action, Jim Santa. And now, ladies and gentlemen, from the Mecca of boxing, Madison Square Garden, New York City. Let's get ready to rumble! Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing silver trimmed with black and weighing in at 240 pounds. He brings an outstanding professional record to the ring consisting of 39 victories, including 32 knockouts with only 2 losses. Ladies and gentlemen, from Greenwood Lake, New York, here is Lou Saverese. And his opponent across the ring, fighting out of the red corner, wearing white trimmed with red and black and weighing 256 pounds. His professional record, a perfect one, consisting of 29 bouts, 29 victories, 21 knockouts, and he has captured the IBC World Title Belt. And he is rated by many experts as the best heavyweight in boxing today. Ladies and gentlemen, from Norristown, Pennsylvania, presenting the undefeated Michael Grant.
Okay, buddy. Come on, Michael. Michael, let's go. Let's go. Let's go, guys. Good evening, gentlemen. I went over all the rules in the dressing room. Let's touch gloves and have a good, clean fight. Good luck.
Go left, bro. Go left.
2 big guys, 2 big punchers, shootout at the KO Corral.
Let's go. Come on, let's go.
First thing Saverese did when he walked to the center of the ring for referee's instructions was to look down and check out Grant's protective cup, trying to see exactly how high that thing was. The discussion about it took place during a fighter meeting yesterday. Saverese got curious, said exactly how high is that thing? It's not as high tonight as it has been on some other occasions, but Grant's handlers acknowledge it tends to ride up.
Cuts down on the strike zone.
Watch it. No holding. Let's go, Mike. Come on,
Saverese, for this fight, dispensed with longtime trainer and cut man Tommy Gallagher and hired the veteran Jesse Reed to come in from Texas. Reed, one of the most effective in the sport at maximizing the minute between rounds.
Oh, bro, that's it.
One thing about these two heavyweights, both of them seem not to be very good, experienced heavyweights. They don't box with the enthusiasm and the experience that the two heavyweight champions box with right now.
Give him up.
They're still learning inside of the ring.
Break! No punches. Step back.
As we mentioned, the Achilles heel for Grant, if there is one, he gets hit with a high percentage of his opponent's punches. Saverese said, hey, that's going to be my chance. I'm going to take it right to him. Saverese loving to tell the story of having run into a fan on the streets a couple days ago, and the fan said, well, you can't mix it up with this guy. You're going to have to stay away and box and move. And Lou laughed and said, you haven't seen me fight, have you?
Come on, Michael. Come on, Michael.